Ladies and gentlemen, we might have already started. Welcome to That Checks Out. I am Ted with Damon, here with Brian. Yesterday was Christmas. Merry Christmas to everyone. Let's start the show.
Yeah, Merry Christmas.
Okay, we're live.
Hey, there we go. You hit the button after we go live.
Yeah. I don't know how long we've been started.
So, anything great from Christmas that you want to share and or want to be heard by maybe 3 people?
It was just weird. We did Christmas in a garage on Wednesday, and then we did Christmas on a screened back porch on Thursday. Wednesday was like 40s, in the mid 40s. So with the jacket, it was fine, and some heaters. But Thursday in the 18-degree weather outside was a little nippy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that was my mom. I felt bad, but that was the only way I would do it if she agreed that we could do it on her screened back porch.
Yeah.
But she had treats and stuff. We didn't want to do a full meal outside. Literally by the time you get to the cranberry sauce, it's frozen. Yeah. So we just had desserts and coffee.
Who's having cransicle?
Yeah. Was this gravy ever moist? Because it's gross. So yeah, it was just, I don't know. I just never felt like it was Christmas all year. I don't know.
I'm kind of in the same boat. I kind of wanted it to get here and be over.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed watching the kids open presents and smiling and having a good time. So honestly, I think that's what it's about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not, I don't know. It's not about how many people can you cram in a room and have a big meal. It's neat especially when those are people you see once or twice a year. And that's when you really see them is on big holidays. I mean, that's nice to be able to do that. But if it didn't happen once, hopefully stuff will be squared away before it happens again.
Yeah. I missed the years and I'd go back to Wilmington and go to my friend's house, like see their parents and everything, and just hang out with them and kind of pop into their family Christmas for a few minutes, say hi to everyone and do all that. And, that wasn't happening. So that was the kind of thing I missed. It really wasn't Christmas for me. We put the tree up maybe 3 weeks ago. I think there's 6 ornaments on it, like new ornaments. We never, I dragged up the ornament container and I was just like, we just never put them on.
Yeah.
Which is nice because now it just
much easier to put
things
away.
Off. Yeah.
Just shake the tree and put it away.
Drop that sumbitch right down the stairs. Whoop, there you go. It's in the basement. Pull it back up next year.
So one weird story about the family get together that I didn't realize that I'm raising like a social assassin. My son Chuck.
Oh, this is going to be an interesting story.
Oh, he's me times 100, which is awesome.
Well,
not to everybody, apparently.
Thank you for the clarification.
But
that sentence needed a qualifier.
So we're we went to my mother-in-law's on Christmas Eve, and it was just my wife and her sister, our families and my mother-in-law. That was it. There wasn't the big gathering, but it was us, right? So the kids decide they need to play Uno. So any family game that gets competitive can be crazy. So I realized that all the kids, I got 3 of my 4 kids are sitting down doing it. My niece, my nephew, and my niece's boyfriend. So they're sitting there playing Uno. Chuck's sitting next to me in a different chair. And I said, "You're not going to play?" He goes, "No." And I'm like, "Okay." And he gives me this weird, no. And I'm thinking to myself, he's so competitive. Why not? So he's sitting there. I don't know, he's messing around with something or doing whatever. I don't think he was on his phone, but he's just sitting there kind of chilling. And they're all arguing about the rules and about this and about that. Like they've never played Uno before. And
so they have their own house rules?
Correct.
Yeah.
But they got brought from 5 different houses.
Right.
So it's like, you can't play a reverse, or you can't play a draw 4 after you play a reverse, and you can't do this and you can't do that. And if you don't call Uno, you get 7 cards you got to pick up. I'm like, 7? I'm like, that seems,
or do you pick up 1 if you don't have it, or you pick up till you can play? Yeah.
Right. So it was just like, I'm just sitting there and I'm like, so anyway, it gets about 5 minutes in. It's very heated. Okay. And I'm just viewing. And so's Chuck. And he's kind of smirking. And he's just sitting there, and then all of a sudden he says, they're really fighting, and he goes, "Man, you would think for all the Uno knowledge that's down there on the floor, this would go a lot smoother." My niece rage quits, throws the cards down, runs in the kitchen. Okay, and again, I'm not picking on her, but she had enough. Chuck said one thing.
Yeah,
he sat there and he said, "I'm gonna go." He watched us pray, and he went in for the kill. He wasn't trying to isolate her, but he was going to get in somebody's head at that time.
Right,
and he did it so well. She quit. So then I hear her in the kitchen, and it was, he said this, and then my wife, well, what did Damon? That's the thing. Uncle Damon didn't do anything. He just sat there. No, I'm smirking and laughing because so I turned to Chuck and I go, "Did you just make someone rage quit a game of Uno that you're not even playing?" He puts down whatever's in his hand. He looks up with the smuggest of looks. I totally saw myself in his face. It was hysterical. And he goes,
yeah, can we pause just for 1 second? Because I have to tell you, there's sometimes I really hate your son's face. And I feel bad about that as a human, but it's because of what you said just now.
So he looks up at me and just with this very, just I don't know, almost like an evil smile, he goes, I have one superpower, one character trait that no one can ever beat. And he goes, and that's the ability to make people rage quit anything. And he looks back down at what he's doing. And I'm like, so I'm like taken back because he plays a lot of online video gaming. And that's a big thing, if you're gaming somebody, because I'll hear my 21-year-old upstairs playing with him and Chuck's whooping him at football.
Yeah.
And he's, I can't on the game's not doing this. And Chuck's quiet. And then Chuck will say one thing. And you'll hear the controller get, and then he's out of the room and he's downstairs. Oh, I'm not playing no more. This is stupid. He literally waits for his moment. Like he's like an assassin. It's hysterical how he dissects the moment. So anyway, I looked at him and I says, all right, then here's your Christmas challenge. I said, I want you to go in the kitchen and I want you to make busha, which is Polish for grandmother. I want you to make busha, rage quit Christmas. She's cooking dinner. And Chuck loses his mind. He's laughing. He goes, I would, Dad, but I don't know what room she'll go to because there's nowhere for her to go. It's her house, It was so awesome. I'd never seen that side of because he really was. I go somewhere and again, we've been a lot of places together. We can either go in and we can take control of the room and have fun and kind of steer where conversations go and have fun, or we can sit back and take everything in and just throw out stuff when it's like almost like it's a well-timed missile. Just be like, boom, there it is. We both have the same ability. And when we're together, it's very scary because one of us may start as the loud, I'm going to take control of the room. The other guy's just the assassin. And then it'll flip, and that's just how it goes. So, but to watch my son do that, I was like, man, he just stalked his prey. He just sat there and he's listening, and he had it. Boom, just dropped it. And I thought, man, I'm raising a good one here.
Yeah, no, it's funny you say that. I mean, I have a couple points I'd like to make. Like, I was walking in Target the other day, and for Christmas presents, and I saw that they had the original Uno. Yeah, like they're doing that. They know that our generation has the money now, right? Like they know that we have the disposable income, and it was, Uno where you could, smack someone 17 times if they draw the wrong card, or Uno where you only play it in flip flops. Like all the weird versions they have, and they just had the one black case that had like the Uno that I had when I was a kid, and I was like, well, wait a minute. What's this? I don't need this. I'll take 3. You know what I mean? So that's what I thought of that. But the thing about the kids thing is that I'll be at my computer. If I'm at my computer downstairs, like my back is to the recliner. So my wife and my daughter will be sitting in them, and my wife will say something, and every now and then my wife will say something that I'm just like, really? But I won't say anything because I'm smarter than that. I know that.
Oh, for sure. Right. But
I'm not occasionally, smarter than that, but my daughter will sass her, and it's just like, I'll just be sitting there with my headphones facing the other way because I'm watching something on the screen and they're watching the TV, and I'll just be like, woo! Because you have to reward that.
Give you a Ric Flair?
Yeah. Because you have to be like, oh, yeah, did you feel that? I felt it over here and I wasn't even looking.
That's my subtle. I'll timestamp Chuck stuff. He'll say something so raw and so wrong and in front of his mom. And she'll look at me and I'll go, he's not wrong. And that's my woo. You know what I mean? So Chuck will get in the habit now when he says something like that, if it's really wrong. And I mean, even I know it's like, Chuck, you shouldn't have said that. You know what I mean? My wife will look at me and he'll go, Dad, say the thing so it's okay. Be coaching
I need clearance on this.
Yeah. Hey, I was waiting for the verification, but
I needed the coverage. Where were you?
Yeah, but I was so impressed.
So you're air support now for?
Yes. Yeah. But yeah, I have become Goose to his Maverick, and it's really killing me.
Well, that's the thing is like, wow, I wouldn't have touched that, but you were right.
Yeah.
Like I said, like you're saying you're not wrong. I'm just like, yeah, you were right.
Yeah.
I know better than to go down that path, but you're going to have to find that out on your own.
Or I mumble to myself, and sometimes loud enough for just one other person to hear, but never like if it's about my wife, like you said, not to my wife, but I'll be like, see, Billy Idol gets it. You know what I mean? Right. Just real nonchalant. Just be like, huh, So, but no, I had to share that because it was like a proud dad moment, but it was like, and then I thought when I challenged him, I'm like, he's really going to go in and try to make her rage quit cooking dinner, it is what it is. He didn't try though. He didn't.
Yeah, I'd like to test his superpower against first Brian's patience, and then my own for competitive stuff. Where I'm at the point in my life where I'm just like, eh.
Yeah,
like you could literally, figuratively beat me to a pulp, and I'll just be like, yeah, I didn't win that one. And be like, okay with it. Like, I don't, like, I get, like, some people that are our age that are still, like, rage quitting stuff, video games or other, like, sports that they play, or they're just watching sports, and they rage quit watching someone else get paid millions of dollars to do it. And I'm just like, my God, give up.
Well, I'm past that phase, but I don't know. Yeah, I don't know when I started just giving in. I don't know what age, but it wasn't long ago.
Well, I can accept the fact people are better than me.
Right.
Like, I don't have to be like, oh, I knew I was going to win this one. I usually go into most things like, yeah, this isn't going to go well for me. And when I do win, that's when I get like cocky about it. But when I don't win, I'm like, this is what I expected.
The whole I'll give it a shot mentality.
Yeah.
Must be the mid 40s.
Yeah.
4, 5, 6.
Yeah. It's just recently.
Because you just joined the club. Yeah. See? So, hey, I thought we like to go into strange stories now when we start.
Ma, there's no more deviled eggs on the roof.
That is the code for strange stories.
So I have one strange.
I understand that, Brian, because you're gonna make that louder. I don't. Like, in our ears, it wasn't loud. It probably blew your face off.
I don't know if this is a story or if this is more of a. This is a cool thing right here. So KFC, you might have seen this already.
Oh, the gamer thing.
Yes. Yeah, a warming console.
Yeah, that
will rival the PlayStation and Xbox.
I saw it because our resident chicken expert shared it with us.
Yes. So anyway, if you like the video games, all right, you need a powerful machine. And when you want a snack, you don't want like Doritos and Mountain Dew and this and that. You want nice, warm KFC chicken.
Yeah.
This is the console to go for. What's that?
I said allegedly.
Allegedly.
Chicken.
So this thing, I'm reading it, and it has a huge. It's 1 terabyte, but it's a huge gaming system that you can, or platform that you can plug your system into and use it. And basically the whole sense of it is you're basically playing now through a microwave that's keeping your chicken warm.
Yeah, I think
it's using
those computers run hot. It's using the heat from those computers.
Using the heat from the computer
to keep your chicken warm.
To have a warming
bay, I guess.
A warming bay. I guess that's the way to put it.
I do like the fact that I now want to take Brian into a KFC.
Oh, they call it, world's first built-in chicken chamber. We'll call it the chamber.
That's creepy.
Yeah.
I think Brian has a couple of those. But I want to take Brian into a KFC because I want to see if the place just goes, get out.
Yeah.
We told you, sir. Never.
Everybody starts kneeling and bowing to him.
Don't you say it.
Our leader has arrived.
Don't you say his name. But secondly, my son literally only eats like pizza and chicken. So I think KFC was like, hey, that Wilson kid will buy one of these.
Okay, so
we might not sell many, but we'll sell one of that Wilson kid.
Here's the best line in here, though, too. Never risk letting your chicken go cold again, thanks to the patented chicken chamber. Cooler Master claims. Who names himself Cooler Master? So I'm the Cooler Master.
Well, I think Brian would be like, Brian's like, I only like my chicken cold. Dead cold.
Dead chicken tells no tales. That's my Pirates thing again.
You got one that self-mutilates a chicken? I'll take that. Like Brian is a game console that's the defeatherer and the console at one. That's a weird game of lawn darts you're playing. Oh, watch what happens when it lands.
And the game is called Chicken Suicide. You're trying to talk the chicken into actually performing its own death.
This Brian like playing bags, but instead of a bean bag as a chicken, he's throwing into the thing from across the yard. So ringer. Look, he's into it. He wants one.
Yeah. He's like, did they put a price in there? When is it coming out? When's it hit the market? The thing I saw, though, is it says the console is also VR ready.
I do the killing.
Yeah. The console is VR ready. That's awesome. But what kind of virtual reality you need where you're going to end with, I'm going to enjoy a piece of chicken, you know?
Especially, like, don't put that in the kitchen because you accidentally put your hand on the stove instead of the... I need to go for the thing that's warm. Let me feel around for it real quick. Ooh, too hot.
But in VR, don't you always see somebody where they're throwing something through a TV, they're knocking something over?
Yeah. Or usually they put like people our mom's age on it, and then they have them like up on a sky. What they see is they're on a plank on a skyscraper.
Yeah, they're on like
and
a
then they fall off and break their hip.
Yeah.
And all they did was step down 1 inch from like the board they're standing on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that was fun until you murdered grandma.
I found this to be so awesome than the fact that who's playing and I realized, because back when I did like play video games somewhat regularly, I had buddies over and you do that. It was a cheap day.
Yeah, but you'd never have like greasy chicken and then play
That's
your video
the other thing.
games.
You never would, because even if guys got like they get pizza and stuff, you're like, guys, go wash your hands. Go wash your before you grab my controllers and doing this and that. It's like that's gross. You know, your skin oil already is enough. If you play long enough and you're sweating and everything, it happens. But I'm just like, oh, I saw this and I thought, who needs like, and I didn't realize the chicken chamber is the best thing to call it. But yeah, like the pocket, you know, it's just, it's so cool. But then when it said it was VR, I'm thinking to myself, what kind of like virtual reality?
Yeah.
I've never tried like a VR headset. I've watched people do it.
I did one like, my dad was alive, so that's 20 years ago.
Yeah.
So it was literally like block. Like it was like being in the Money for Nothing Dire Straits video. That's the VR I was in. We got to install microwave ovens, custom kitchen delivery. 3 people got that.
I got that.
Yay! Hey, 4. We're up to 4. We're up to 4.
But no, actually, I did one. I took my son to Great America one year. It was like a Father's Day gift. I got, no, it must have been Mother's Day. For Mother's Day, I took him to Great America. So Tina and they could have like Mother-Daughter Day.
Right.
And we got season passes. It was going to be something we did the whole year. That was the only day we went.
Nice.
Yeah. So that's usually how we spend money in my house.
Money well spent.
But on one of the rides, they had VR. It was like the drop ride where they go up and drop you and like you kind of bounce and they take it back up and drop you again. And we went in the one line and there was an open spot. And I was like, hey, can we have that? And they're like, the girl was like, yeah, we get over there. And it was the line that other people have been waiting 4 hours for the VR. And we went the other way. I don't know why they didn't put one in that spot, but she was like, yeah, I guess. And she let us in there. So we didn't have to wait in line for the whole thing.
Really?
Which is cool because I didn't want to wait 4 hours for a ride where they put you literally in a seat and drop you up and down.
Yeah,
a couple
I'll
times.
go ride the real ones. Yeah. I'm going to park.
But it was like you were on a building, or like on a helicopter dropping down to save a building from aliens. Yeah. So that's all you could see in your head. And it was intense and it was creepy as all get out. And I'm glad I did it. But
so they had one of those. And I mean,
this was clearly, pre-touching other things would murder you. So I'm assuming they wiped it down every 6 hours or so, whatever.
I'd never have enough guts to try one of these, of course, as you know, because I don't like real roller coasters or anything, but they had a thing like that at Disney in the intervention side. And all you saw, it almost looked like one of the, like a plant had eaten the person and just their legs were hanging out. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So, and it's this arm and you're watching these people's legs fling all over the place as this thing, because they're on the roller coaster. So it's spinning them sideways, it's corkscrewing, it's doing whatever. And I'm like, no way. No way, bro. Not in the slightest. So I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But I mean, even just putting a headset on, and doing that, I think it'd be neat to do that. But it might just, I don't know. I think it would mess with my brain because I can't do like first person shooter games. I can't do that. I can watch somebody play them, but I can't play them.
It depends on the controls. But yeah, I get people like, how do you watch? Like, if you do it in sequence and watch it, it's like watching a movie.
Correct. That's why I enjoy watching somebody do it. Yeah.
I enjoy watching somebody who's good do it. If they die like 17 times in the same spot, it's like, I got a lawn to mow. I can't. I don't have time.
I'm the guy jumping in the corner that they come up on and they put all their weapons away and get the knife out. I'm that guy. I'm that guy.
He knows that that's like the end of the world, right? He can't go any further.
Right.
It's an easy kill. Just go get him.
Hey, so in conclusion, then, Brian, are you going to buy one of those systems for yourself so you can? Huh?
No.
But if Amy gave you one, you'd take it.
Totally.
Okay, just checking. Wilson?
Well, that's a lot of stuff. Like I would never buy it for myself, but if someone gave me it, I'd be
money.
like,
but it's your money, though.
Is it?
I build my own computers. I could probably make one of those with a lot more room for chicken.
Yeah, you try it out on yourself first. Yeah.
Brian has a rotisserie.
You might want to up your insurance for. Oh yeah, he's got the Showtime. You playing video games? No, I just set it and forget it.
Brian just made by Ronco. Yeah, set it and forget it. What's up?
We were talking earlier before about meals we had this week for Christmas. Those hot dogs I was talking about, we cooked them in the air fryer.
Oh yeah. How'd that go?
Is that saga over with? Can we move past that chapter of your life now?
I obtained an air fryer for.
What?
Yeah,
we didn't start with that.
I didn't start with it because I didn't want to make it all about me. You know me. I don't like to be about me. Hey,
exactly.
Yeah, I got an air fryer, and then in a weird turn of fate, since I've been eating so well, I ate some air fryer foods, and I don't feel so well. So and then we'll make the air fryer saga short, but here's the deal. I got it, and I'm very appreciative of it, but I think I'm being tormented for it because, like I said...
Yeah, you better use it every day. Right. Otherwise, you're going to be...
Yeah, it's the fried foods. I'm like, oh, and again, they were delicious, and they were way better. They tasted better. I mean, I get it. I put chicken wings in that I normally would make on Sundays for football. Yeah. I said, let's open them early. I'm going to throw a couple in there. And they were perfect. I was like, wow, I can't make them like that in the oven. They're okay in the oven, but they're not, But
the thing is, you don't have to put fried foods in there too. Like
right. Right. No, and I realized you could do vegetables and do stuff. So it's cool. But the other thing, so what was funny is, so my wife gave it to me for Christmas after all the negativity that I got, right?
Right. Is it the one you wanted?
It is.
Loaded question.
You're such a jerk. He looks at me with his arms folded. Hey, so is that the one you wanted?
Oh, first thing today. Ted, you look like you were hit by a bus. Yeah. I've been holding this revenge for 27 minutes.
So anyway.
Here it is.
You remember how I gave the speech? If it's not the one I want, I don't want it.
Yeah, that's the one I want. You can put it right back on the curb.
So when we started this whole saga, here's where I'm going to let you decide. And not you personally, but the public. My wife...
Oh, the listeners?
My wife has had this purchased since before this whole thing started. So I've been living in my own personal purgatory hell of no air fryer.
Yeah.
And live in this saga of I'm never going to have it.
Never going to get it. Never going to get it.
So the last present that she gave me, Marissa helped her wrap all the presents, my daughter. And the last present I got was it looked like a book. So I opened it up. It was a book. It was air fryer recipes. And I looked at her and I go, you were either a sadistic witch.
But you didn't say, but I hadn't said witch.
Or I didn't say witch. I didn't. Cleaned it up. So I said, or there's a present I'm missing. And under the table next to me that I didn't see because there was stuff in front of it was there. And so they slide it out. And I'm like, oh no. And I'm like, oh, and I open it. And the first thing I do is I'm like, okay, well, it's not the Ninja Foodie one, but I'm looking at it, I'm like, but it's big. Oh, it's a quart. Oh, it's, she goes, I already researched this. The reason she was so mad when I sent her the one I wanted, and I said, this one or nothing, it was already purchased. But she had it in her possession.
She Red Ryder BB gunned you.
Oh, she tormented me the entire time.
Well, I meant like she said you weren't going to get it, and then that was the last present hiding.
Yeah, and then
I think there's one more over there.
And then I figuratively shot my eye out yesterday with pizza rolls and other stuff that we tried in there.
It's Christmas. I ate way too much. Yeah. Well, I mean, I've been doing that for like 4 months now. I ate way too much these 4 months of Christmas.
The 4 months of Christmas.
My true love gave to me stuff to put in my mouth.
My pants are no longer baggy. Yeah, I see what you're doing there.
Yeah, I was just gonna say my jeans are like uncomfortable.
Yeah, this says the skinny guy over there. Yeah.
Yeah.
My son Brendan's been eating kind of well too. He sat down and popped a button off his pants and he goes, what? I says, first off, that's a regular occurrence. Well, okay.
You remember I had that Nintendo shirt a while back?
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, cool. And so I opened up one of my Christmas presents from my mother-in-law and it was that same shirt.
Yeah.
Because clearly she just went and bought some for my son and then bought some for me, but gave him to his birthday and saved him for me.
Gotcha.
And I opened one, and there was 3 rolled up, and I picked one up, and it said 2X, and I'm like, well, I mean, that does fit still. I prefer we're going the other way.
Yeah.
So I was like, she's like, I hope that's the right size, but the receipt was in there. Like, yeah, that's fine. No, I hope it's not the right size for long, but it'll work. I pushed them away, and then I went to go put one on or to take them out. I was going to launder them yesterday. I pulled them out. The other 2 are 3X, and I was like, no.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I don't, and no means no.
Right.
I was like, no. We're not doing this. These are going back to the store. I'm not holding on to these.
I understand. Like I said,
because you gave me that one shirt when we first started this, like the soon.
Yeah.
And it was a 3X, and I put it on the other day, and it was still baggy, and I was like, oh, thank you, Jesus.
Yeah. Well,
happy birthday.
We all started getting ready for a 5K. We've all done 5Ks, just we haven't done one together.
Yeah.
Excuse me, but. I got us, shirts made because we all started as a 3X.
Yeah.
So mine still fits comfortably.
Well, I almost not as baggy as I want
shirt
and been like, here you go. But that seems like a dick.
It's not as baggy as I want it to be. Like this shirt I'm wearing now, I don't have to put my arms in it and stretch it out.
Yeah.
Which is nice.
Like after you get it out of the dryer and do that.
Yeah. You're like, okay, first off.
See, that's what fat people do, Brian. We make our shirts into squares out of the dryer.
Yeah.
And then we put them
Why
on.
do those sleeves set funny? Because they actually meet at my neck, and they're not supposed to go that high.
We need one of those like where they make taffy, like it does that stretching where the two arms go back and forth.
Yeah.
Why did you put that in your laundry room? Don't ask. Yeah. I don't want to talk about it.
So I got one more weird story, but it's not this one. I figure we do something for Christmas.
For Christmas.
So what I have 3 of some of the weirdest Christmas customs or traditions. Okay. The first one is broom hiding. Okay.
Whoa.
Yep.
Whoa.
So one of the weirdest traditions.
Do we need to put a disclaimer in front of this?
No.
Like, where are we hiding this broom?
No, it's weird. Yeah, it's weird, but not uncommon if you live in Norway. It dates back centuries, basically when people believed that witches and evil spirits came out on Christmas Eve. So they would hide the brooms, all right, so that basically they wouldn't get stolen. All right?
I mean, this is plausible because, in New England, they have windows that are crooked because that way witches couldn't fly into your windows. Mm-hmm. They're called witch windows. Yeah, they're like at an angle. They're at a 45-degree angle, and it's because apparently witches can't lean. They can't lean into it.
Their depth perception's all messed up from all that witch.
That window is not straight on. We got to turn around.
And the birds are like, thanks, witches. Freddie over here hit some vinyl siding. He ain't been the same ever since.
Yeah, Brian, put some angled windows at your house. Yeah. Pick up some more birds.
That chicken suicide rate's going up quite a bit in your backyard.
You get some geese. Oh, you should come to my neighborhood. It's like Hitchcock is filming Birds 3.
With geese?
This time it's geese. Oh, my God. It's so many.
And they all hate you.
Because there's 3 retaining ponds. There's one right across my house. There's one right before the main road. And there's one across from the main road. And I'm not kidding you. It's got to be 500 to 750 geese.
Really?
It looks like it's carpeted in geese. It just looks like someone bought all of the fake geese, duck blinds or whatever, and just threw them out into the pond and into the land around it. It is ridiculous. I'm waiting for a human. It's always when I'm driving, I want to see someone on the path go through there because I want to see that guy murdered.
You ought to start a carnival and number them all on the bottom and just let people grab them by the neck. And you could give out really shitty prizes.
Oh, I wouldn't have to because they'd be dead. Have you ever messed with one of those geese? They are the meanest. I want to see Brian out there just be like, I got this.
Yeah.
I do the killing.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, we're talking about...
It parts like the Red Sea. Brian walks right across the water, right in between.
I'm going to stand for him like, hey, geese, guess who I'm bringing in there? Like, don't you say it.
Don't you say his name.
Big Mac.
Shouldn't he be recording a podcast right now? Don't you say his name. All
right, so where are we hiding these brooms?
So, no, you just hide brooms.
That's it?
No, yeah, that's it. That's it. It's a weird tradition.
I know how to re-segue. Don't give me that, Brian.
So here, this one...
I can mentally make a bookmark.
I have 3. The third one's my favorite. This one's called, I believe it's called either the Gavel Goat or the Gavle Goat. I don't know how they pronounce the last part of it.
Oh, yeah, there's an umlaut on that.
Yes.
Is that by Motorhead or
yeah.
Motley Crue?
It's the Motley Crue Gavel Goat. So...
It all started, they call it Dr. Feel Goat.
Yeah. All started in 83 on the Sunset Strip. Oh, no, sorry. This is different.
I was going to say, what?
Yeah, no. 1966, all right, when a 13-meter tall Yule goat was first built in the center of Gavel's Castle Square. Okay, it's a Swedish tradition. So basically, here's the nuts and bolts of it. They built this huge goat, right? But apparently, after it was constructed, people tried to burn it down. Because of this, since 1966, it's been successfully burnt down 29 times. Okay. And so basically what's weird is if you get convicted of trying to burn it down, they put you in jail for 3 months.
You think at one point someone's like, hey guys, can we just not build this goat this time? There's just one grizzled old man with a toolbox. He's like, I don't want to do this again.
It's in Norway. The only insurance guy in Norway is like, I can't insure that thing. There's no way. There's no way.
Yeah. I think you said Sweden though, right? For this one?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes. This one's Sweden. Yeah. Not
Jake
Norway.
from State Farm has all those numbers blocked. We are farmers. No, we can't.
He just forwards his phone to Flo from Progressive. Just goes right to her voicemail.
She forwards it to the gecko.
Or the guy from Allstate.
Right.
Joe Boo, right? Joe Boo from Allstate.
Yes, he did play that character in the movie Major League, which my mom is friends with on Facebook with Monty from Major League.
Really?
Yeah, it's a weird world we live in 2020.
So
you remember, Monty, he just has 2 words in both movies.
Yeah.
He just sits next to Bob Uecker the whole time and reacts.
Oh, it's Skip.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm friends with him too.
Yeah,
I know what you're talking about.
I was waiting for you to catch up.
I'm like, I know Skip.
I was waiting for you to catch up.
Yeah.
Hi, Skip.
I forgot his name in the thing, but I didn't remember they called him Monty, but yeah, just a bit outside or inside and knocks the head. Yeah, sorry, bad reference.
Yeah,
we digress. But basically now, what's funny is it says, want to see if it makes it through this Christmas season fire free? Go to the Gavle website and watch a live stream video, so you can watch this huge goat. May or may not be torched at some point during the night. And you'll be like, hey, that's Billy. I know him. You know? Oh, he's going to go away for 3 months right now, but that's Billy, you know? So they actually have a closed circuit camera on a thing that may be burnt to the ground.
It'd be great if you just saw like an arrow from behind the camera. we figured out a loophole.
We need a second camera. They mount it on the horse. It burns every time. Dude, we cannot recover any of this footage from these melted cameras.
No, they have the camera facing, but they leave the digital recorder in the goat.
But they have all the head cutout things along the way, so they got all these faces it could possibly be. You know what I'm talking about?
Maybe we should put a black box in that thing.
Flight recorder.
Ooh, they got smart this year. After 29 years, they finally figured it out. Well, it's more than 29 years, but it's only been successfully burnt down 29 times?
Yes.
So some years it makes it to the end?
Yes, successfully. So basically, it's only been a pile of rubble. 29 times. Because it has been successfly burnt down 29 times. Dude, it's only from 1966.
Hey, boss, can I have next 3 months off? Hey, keep an eye out for Ted.
You make like a Trojan goat, push it up right next to it, burn that one down, they never see it.
Yeah, put a little bow on it. Made out of like thermite, but then wait a minute.
Hey, does this fall under Wayne Mays? Because it's a goat. Does this fall under his jurisdiction?
Calls him up. Wayne is just hoping every year it burns down. So that they call him that year.
My parents just moved to Sweden. Look, I pray to God I get a case in Sweden.
Looks like I'm getting a Christmas bonus this year.
Well, because he only does search and recovery.
Right.
He shows up to the pile. It's right here.
I found it.
Where's my check?
He just shows up to the main, to the city hall where they have there with a urn full of ashes.
Yeah.
Where's my check?
Yeah. I've recovered it.
It's 98% pure. It's 2% Marlboro.
It's 2% shed. Burn the shed down right next to it. Burn the shed right down next to it, too. It's 2% shed. Okay, it's 98%. 98% coat, 2% shed.
They open it up and there's bits of fern and everything. Wayne, this is a wooden goat. Sometimes you got to crack some eggs to make an omelet.
Right. Yeah.
You don't question Wayne May's methods. He's out there interviewing real goats. What did you see? What do you know? Where is she?
You've always been jealous of that goat. Tell me the truth.
You said number 3 is your favorite?
Yeah, number 3 is my favorite.
We went for a ride on number 2.
Okay, so number 3, I believe it's pronounced Kagatia. Okay, CAGA, and then it's TIA and the number 3. I'm showing you this. This is for real.
So is it cute?
It's I don't know, but what it means, basically what it means, Kaga.
Back in training.
Kaga means shit, and Tia means log. This is a Christmas tradition.
Oh, it's a Yule log that you don't want.
Yes. So, but almost like a log used as a stocking. It's a really weird backstory regarding poop. This tradition is from Spain. I figured the poop story would be great because we will talk a little bit about what we put on Facebook, and we're getting a lot of stuff.
Yeah, a lot of people think that we just want to talk about poop and farts.
And I'll be honest with you, it's a crowd favorite.
Probably fits right in.
It's a crowd favorite. Yeah. I mean, there's no doubt. But this tradition is from Spain, all right? And you can go out and buy your very own, I'm going to say, Kagatia, okay? I downloaded the song so I can play it later for you guys when we're done, and we'll have to put it on our Facebook page. Basically, what happens is you take this log that's hollowed out, and you begin to feed him the beginning on December 8th, okay? And then on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day, you put him in the fireplace and beat him with sticks until he poops out small candles, fruits, and nuts.
I don't want nuts from someone's poop log.
Okay. When he's finished, the final object dropped in is a salt herring. Back to your fish of choice there, Mac. Gross. We talked about that before we started. A garlic bulb or an onion. And to top it all off, during this, there is a family song you can sing together. Basically, it's poop log, poop nuggets, hazelnuts, and cottage cheese. If you don't poop well, I'll hit you with a stick, poop log. That's the song. Now, I'm sure it translates into rhyming words when it's singing, and
but no less disturbing.
It's very disturbing. But basically, so the kids, and then I was reading further because this really intrigued me. So I was reading further that they would take, and so they put a face on these logs and they give it like arms. It almost looks like the
Mr.
pirate.
Hanky?
It looks like the pirate from Family Guy. The guy with the peg legs.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
that's what it looks like to me. So I see that, and then they cover it with a blanket to keep him warm before they throw him in the fire and beat him with sticks. But they do this.
So this is like a poop piñata.
It really is. For lack of a better term, you are correct. It is a poop piñata. But it is their tradition. And this is the kids do this and they sing and then they beat it, hoping that they get presents.
Man, that's messed up. Now, you said they put it in the fireplace?
Yeah.
So what if you were to just like travel from Spain to Sweden and be like, hey, look, I'm going to put this poop in this goat. Trust me, look it up. It is a tradition. And then use that to set the goat on fire.
Well, as long as you're singing the song around it, I believe
you got to do the whole to do.
The whole dog and pony show or goat and pony show in this case. But no. So when I read this, I mean, I couldn't believe telling my kids, hey, we're going to stuff this log and then we're going to sing basically a song of they call it shit log. And then we're going to hope it gives you presents.
Even though you put stuff in it.
Right. Oh yeah. Well, you're putting stuff in it all along. You're putting in,
and you hope that you hope that the stuff you're putting in this poop log,
yes,
is going to give you presents, even though you put stuff in it.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
That'd be like I'm going to give you a Christmas stocking.
Yes.
And then I'm going to hope that there's stuff in it, even though I know I put stuff in it.
Well,
they could do that with a Christmas stocking. It doesn't have to be.
Yeah, but do you really want the stuff they're putting in this log? I mean, when it really is. It's they feed it. And I took some screenshots of this. It's hysterical. But essentially, when they do this, that's the Gobbly Goat. And I still think, I hope I'm saying that one right. But yeah.
Yeah, you might get 2 months in jail.
It's shit log, shit nuggets, hazelnuts, and cheese. If you don't shit well, I'll hit you with a stick, shit log. Those.
I mean, they could have said please. I mean, they could have turned that English to please. Give me something with some cheese, and I would like it now. Like, no, you had a word. You had a word that rhymed. It was right there. It's one of the easiest words to rhyme. It's like it's orange or purple.
If you're going to end it with my name and my name is Shitlog, don't make it to where you're not going to rhyme it. Then do something in between that. But yeah, essentially, this is tradition. It happens every year. But they literally, you lift up the blanket, and you find sardines or herring. Then you know that your Tio or whatever is full and cleansed and presented. Now, if it's
did
not,
you look into the origin of this? Like, why did they start doing this?
Oh, there was so much stuff on this that
great. Now I'm going to do it for my day after Christmas afternoon. Dad's busy researching shit logs.
But they would feed it fruits, nuts.
Don't come in here. I'm researching.
Stale bread and cookies. And that's what they fatten the log up with. But then, like I said, they put the blanket over it. And then if they don't feel that it is harvesting the presents they want, they beat it with a stick.
See, if I was you this morning, I would have brought in a box with a blanket over it and just set it on the table, not said anything until this point. And then handed Brian a stick. Right.
Well, he beats me down to the floor with it. And then goes, get your shit log off my table.
That's for the
shower. Get your log off my table. So no, I really thought that was my favorite, just because so many people are, I guess, mesmerized by the bodily functions. So to think that you're going to basically that's where all your hope goes for gifts is the log going to produce.
Well, that's kind of like what we were talking about earlier about the video games. Like if I win, it's great because I don't expect anything.
Right.
So if you're praying to shit and you get something good, you're like, it's better than I thought it was going to be. Yeah. If you get nothing, you're like, hey, that's better than what it could have been. Yeah.
Well, and then you're like, if I don't get what I want, I'm going to get to beat the crap out of this thing. Literally. Literally. So maybe you could use the brooms that you took from the other houses.
You think it was just like one like crazy old person dressed like Santa was beating some poop? Just like his family had to spin a story out of it so they could save face.
Just outside of Porta John. Yeah. Just outside of Porta John.
This is the Christmas poop log.
Yeah. You guys, you're missing the spirit of the holiday.
How do you guys not know about this? You shove hazelnuts and fish in it. It's great.
And they look around the corner. Maybe a little herring.
Yeah.
Are you just looking at stuff on the counter?
Are those nuts? Are they already in the poop?
Put them in there. Put them in there.
Maybe some corn.
Yeah.
And then after like 10 years, they're like, man, this really got out of hand. We should have just admitted Uncle Larry was crazy.
Yeah.
Accepted that stain on the family and moved on.
Yeah. This prank has really grown legs. Literally. They put him on the log. Yeah. Legs. So, but no, and then to put a blanket over to keep it warm when you know inevitably you're just going to throw it in the fire and beat the crap out of it. Bro, be cold. It's all good. So, but yeah, I'm glad we don't have any.
Is that where you got your tradition of blanket?
Yeah. Blanket. And if it doesn't work after 2, I start pummeling you with sticks under the blanket.
The blanket was your warning.
I throw the blanket over your head and then I start pummeling you.
The blanket was your warning.
It's like a pillow party from Full Metal Jacket.
Wow, we're doing some disturbing references.
See, Mac laughs at that one. He's like, yeah, that one made me laugh.
Great scene.
I do have bar soap in the car if you...
Correct. Yeah, we're going to need that. I only have hand soap, but it's in bottles. It'll hurt the same. It's all good. How'd he die? Hand sanitizer. Yeah.
Did you drink it? Nope.
No. Well, they say you're supposed to, if you hit somebody like that, you're supposed to use a sack of oranges. It doesn't leave bruises.
I said that like a couple of podcasts ago, didn't I?
Yeah. It doesn't leave bruises, right?
You use a sack of Valencia oranges. Doesn't leave bruises.
So
is that why you moved to Florida?
Yeah.
I would go on a killing spree.
I already have sacks. I have 0 oranges. Where's Damon? He walked off in that field with a sack. I have no idea. I wouldn't be here when he gets back. Does he like you?
It was a big sack. I would really not be here. Yeah.
He put some, what else is Georgia known for? The pecans or whatever. There's pecans in there. It hurts. Ooh, defeats purpose. The other thing I've been doing when I'm not researching awesome stuff.
Yeah.
Is I've been on the treadmill. I've been doing really good with that. So I have a Roku TV, I think I said, that I put, right in front of my head there. And I've been watching shows and movies and this and that, because when you're on there, you have nothing else to do. And it's not linked to like my direct TV. So I'm not watching live TV or stuff like that. So Disney Plus, I went through all the Pirates movies.
Right.
And then I got done with those and I said, well, I might start Star Wars. And then I remembered how much I don't like Star Wars when I started Star Wars. Same with The Mandalorian. Like everybody's hooked on this Mandalorian thing.
I'm not a Star Wars fan, super fan. Mm-hmm. Our friend Marco is.
Okay.
But I'm not. But I am enjoying Mandalorian because it's not like Star Wars. I mean, there's people who like Star Wars get more out of it.
Okay.
But you don't have to be a fan of Star Wars to get it.
Okay.
But anyway.
Yeah, because I started it and I'm out of it. I'm
I started it.
Yeah.
The opening credits rolled and I was like, no.
Yeah.
No.
So I've switched over to I've done some killer shows like on Netflix. I've done some stuff that I've watched.
Coming for your job, man.
Right.
I do the killing.
Yeah, Mac's like, you stay away. But I watched some Titanic stuff. Okay. So I was really getting into the Titanic stuff. So they went back down. They had a whole team that went down, I think it was 2015. That was the last time they've been down to the shipwreck, I believe. At least where it's been on a special, you know what I mean? Yeah. Documented for people to see. And they have a guy, his first name I think is Parks, but he's the resident and the world's most renowned Titanic specialist. And so they're building a show around going down, and he's trying to see if it's decaying more, and if they're ever, he's like, well, we're never going to be able to get this stuff out of it. And I'm like, you're not going to go in it anyway. There's no realm where when you're 3,000 whatever miles, feet, I don't know, universes below the sea. Yeah, it takes some I think 3.5 hours to descend to it. And they
It takes them longer to go back up.
Right. But as they're descending, I mean, they're in total darkness, this and that, and they have to make sure that their coordinates, at least with the stuff we have nowadays, you're so specific on when you can drop down and you're literally from me to you away from it, but you're not touching it, But he's concerned that they're not going to be able to recover the, of the day where they would do they would telegraph.
Oh, okay.
And there's a telegraph room that was right on top. And they were so excited about having the new telegraph system because it would warn you about icebergs.
Guess what?
Okay, so found a flaw in that system, but he wants to recover the telegraph. And he's like, this room is sinking and this and that. I'm like, it's under how many millions of pounds of water?
Right, and salt water too.
And salt water. And then they said, and the ship is overcome with the barnacles and stuff have their own living organisms. I mean, that's what they are. And so I'm really amazed by it. But like every time these guys talk, I realize this is what they do for a living.
Yeah.
Okay. This guy's job is to know about a ship that wrecked 120 years ago. That's his job.
You know what happened to that ship?
It is fated to time.
Yes. But I'm just saying, so how do you get that job? Because he wasn't alive when it went down.
Right.
Okay. He doesn't, how do you, and then they're down there. And so this is the thing that got me. I guess one of the most important people on there was a Guggenheim, which I recognize that name. But he perished. And they're like, oh, he had a beautiful stateroom. And they have pictures from back in the day of like the stateroom he would have been in and this and that. Well, this guy, they're down there and he goes down with the sub then. They actually take him, or no, did they take him down? They did take him down once, I think. He goes down with the sub and he's looking and he goes, well, that's Guggenheim's room. How do you know that?
It's in 3 pieces too. Like, wait a minute. Yeah, because at this point, because I've been to the Titanic Museum.
Yeah.
In Branson. I don't know if you've heard.
Well, you have that kind of money.
I have that kind of money.
Yeah.
My friend Jack works there. That's a true story. Just funny. His name's Jack. But
do you have a little ditty about him and maybe
no, it's just
somebody
like
else
from the movie Jack.
Okay, just checking.
Jack and Rose. Rose doesn't work there, but Jack does. And they have a lot of stuff. Yeah, and they have the same museum in Pigeon Forge, Gatlinburg. Yeah. It looks like the front third of the ship. Like it has like that's how they do the outside of it. It looks like it's hitting an iceberg, which is a bit dark. If you ask me about it, I didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, there's so much that's already known about it. Like, how much more do we want to go back down to the ship? Do you know if you go to like the Great Lakes, there's a ton of wrecks in there because those lakes, they look like an ocean. That's what I was saying when we were on the Michigan side this summer because we've gone there. I said to my mom, if we hadn't spent all that Branson money for 40 years that we've been going down there, maybe we would have noticed that the east side of the Lake Michigan is actually pretty nice. Yeah. Maybe we would have gone somewhere else for vacation, but we were over there and I was like, can you imagine the explorers like coming off the ocean, getting here from like the East Coast, getting here and going like, wait a minute, did we loop back?
Right.
Because it doesn't look like a lake. It literally looks like you hit the ocean. You're like, who had the map?
Yeah.
What asshole had the map? Like, this is the ocean again. What happened?
Does that guy have 2 eye patches?
Yeah. But it's freshwater. So everything that's down there is preserved. It's cold freshwater.
Correct.
You could pull those up and be like, oh, we can study this for ages.
Right.
Now they're just going down and looking at rust and dirt.
That's what they're doing.
At the Titanic.
But someone's sponsoring that. They're getting paid, for these expeditions. And aside, like,
hey, someone sponsoring that?
Yeah.
Call me.
Call me. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll go outside and just look at the dirt that's out here if you want it.
Yeah. This was not Guggenheim's room. Yeah. I can confirm
this
that.
This was a blue cup bowl dish thing that we found for 3 weeks here.
I think it was providing cats with water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been kicked from its original location.
It's just ridiculous though. But that, like I said, so that's this guy's profession. But he's going down and he says, well, there's the captain. That would have been the captain's quarters. And he goes, there's the captain's tub. There's his sleeping quarters. And I'm like, cool.
Right.
I mean, I'm not trying to be I don't know. I'm sure I do because there's 6 degrees of everything. I'm sure I know somebody that was related to or this or that. Somebody that was, because there's 2,000 people on that boat, I think, right? On that ship or more.
Possibly.
But
I haven't been doing that on the treadmill.
Oh, so you say that I am the world-renowned
of this room, sure.
You have any knowledge about the Titanic at all, Mac?
Nope.
Okay.
I mean, I went through the museum 3 times, but apparently I didn't retain that.
Yeah.
There's a place where you can stick your hand in to tell how cold it was that night.
Really?
Yeah, see how long you can keep your hand in there?
Really?
Yeah. And so I was there with my my kids and my nieces and nephews, and they're like, "Oh, it's cold." And I'm just like literally got my hand in there, like I don't feel anything anymore.
I'm numb to the pain.
Yeah. Welcome to your 40s, kids. Cold water is the only.
Your family starts talking to you. You're like, Dad, you got to get your head out of there. You got to try to drown yourself. Dad's cold when the bubbles stop, kids. Dad's cold when the bubbles stop.
2 people could have fit in that door.
Yeah, but I'm just like, what do you expect to recover from like his tub?
Especially at this point.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. So this specialist is upset about how it keeps deteriorating. It's 120 years old or whatever, down. And again, was it like 07 I think or something? 1907.
It was in the aughts of the 19th.
Yeah, it's like 1907. So I mean, for just call it 120 years, but it's been down there. And then he's like, it's got all this stuff is just eating the ship away. It shouldn't have this on there. That's what it does. Dude, that's a circle of life, bro.
Right.
That's a circle of life.
Yeah. If you ever find other ruins, they just disappear.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you can rebuild it how many times you want, but it's just going to keep burning down 29 times.
Hey, take a goat, for example.
Yeah.
29 times.
Well, it's funny. Like, you're probably familiar with the show because you seem to watch these channels where they keep digging on that island to look for that treasure. And they've almost dug to the core of the earth at this point. Yeah. It would be great if at the end of that series, when they're finally done with that, they're just going to give up if they just have a helicopter shot and they pan back and there's one island over and the's just some guy in a mansion because that's the actual island the whole time. You just like, those dumb sumbitch. Just standing
Instead of that $20 million metal detector, you probably should have bought yourself a drone,
right,
and done a little surveillance.
Because literally, they have dug that entire island into a pit. And they haven't found a thing. Every now and then, they find like a keychain. I think this is it. They didn't have cars back then. I think this is it.
Yeah,
we found it. You just see Wayne May on a mansion. Yeah. Should have called me. I would have found it.
You're looking for the golden tortoise.
I tracked down the pirate's dog. He was buried with the treasure.
I'm thinking of the monkey now from Pirates of the Caribbean. That's what I'm thinking of. I found the monkey ghost. He brought me the gold.
He brought me right to it. He brought me this compass.
It takes me to wherever I want most. Mostly it's the refrigerator. I've developed an eating disorder. I live on an island,
That's how I find the animals. What I want most is Sparky to come home.
But unfortunately, he's hunting snakes.
I like how Wayne May sounds like just like the cop who doesn't want to hear Wayne May's voice.
So you're not going to say my name, huh?
Don't say it. Say what? Your name. Who's talking now? No one knows. The shadow knows.
Wayne may or may not be talking right now.
Everyone in Wayne May's universe talks like this. Ma, there's no more deviled eggs on the roof. Yes. Well, this degraded her.
Wow. You know what, though? Merry Christmas, Wayne.
Merry Christmas, Garth.
So I guess the last thing I'll say, the other thing I've been watching is a little bit of the killer shows. Now I'm watching this one. I Am a Killer. And they're literally talking to people that are on death row.
I don't like being in the room with two of you now.
Yeah.
I feel like between the two of you have enough notes where I will disappear off this earth.
I'm waiting to, I'm like, I know that guy. You know what I mean? Wait a minute. But no, I've been watching that, and these guys are on death row. Well, these guys have been on death row since the 90s. What's the holdup on death row?
Well, that's the problem. They get so many, like, you can challenge, you can do,
Yeah, but I'm just thinking to myself, it's like, if you're going to death row, it's like, you get convicted. They're walking out of the courtroom like, hey, what are you doing tomorrow? Oh, shit, we already know what you're doing tomorrow.
Right.
I'll see you tomorrow. Why don't you meet me at the chamber? Well, not the chicken chamber.
Well, how do you
either.
feel about the people that have been on death row since the 90s and suddenly, like, they retest everything and they're like, oh, when you said it wasn't you, turns out you were telling the truth.
Yeah, right. Hey, and the guy you implied did it, his DNA is all over the body. Yeah. But he died of natural causes 2 years ago.
Right.
Yeah, after living.
No, he died in the Caribbean on a cruise. He just ate too much and his heart
He died in a tragic goat fire on Christmas.
He died living out his life dream of sinking down and studying the Titanic. They just left him down there. It was fine. But like
he died.
People,
he died in Guggenheim's room.
They're basically like, here's an apology and $500. Sorry.
That's what they do.
Yeah.
Yeah. They put him out like 19 years later. Yeah. So.
Ooh, that's a my bad. That's a my bad. We get it.
You know what? oops.
Yeah, and the statute of limitations for suing us on that's way past.
Yeah.
So good luck with that.
That's you there, ta-da. Ta-da! Here's the door. But no, you watch those guys and they'll walk out and their family will meet them or this or that. There's guys on death row, though. This one guy, he got his reverse, so he's not going to die. Because it turns out he was 17 and they abolished where you couldn't be under 18 and convicted to die. So they said, now you just have life in prison. So now he has a chance to get parole. Not life without parole, mind you, just life in prison. So he has a chance for parole in 2038 after being in from 1996. And I'm like, okay, even if you put somebody like that back into society, would it?
At that point, they're ruined. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Even 5 or 10 years. I mean, and especially... He's not going to have any family that's of any significance that can take him in or do anything else.
That's your thing. Like your 3-month goat sentence in those countries, like prison there is all about like learning and rehabilitation. And it's like not a lot of cells and, dropping the soap in the shower room. Like it actually feels like more like a halfway house or like a school,
like a summer camp.
You can't leave.
Like a summer camp.
So when they come out, they have skills and like
right.
They've actually tried to make them different.
Is fire building
no,
one
they
of
don't.
those skills?
That's the one thing they don't.
We are not going to teach you how.
Where did you get 2 sticks?
Yeah, wait a minute.
You don't get to have 2 sticks.
Wait, you were with Tommy. Tommy, where's your stick? He took it from me.
We were hiding the brooms.
Yeah, we're hiding the brooms.
I found 2 brooms. That's how that worked.
Wait a minute. But no, I saw that, and the one guy, he goes, he got sentenced for premeditated murder for 4 people. And he goes, it wasn't premeditated. And I'm thinking to myself, then what was your job? Were you like the world's worst door-to-door machete salesman and you don't know how to take no for an answer? I mean, he cut up all these people.
Was it one house after yours? You talked to Chuck? I'm going to make this guy rage quit machete salesman.
So what's weird is they talked to his teacher. They talked to like a teacher from school, and she's like, well, he was never anything special, but he wasn't terrible. And I'm like, hey, there's a vote of confidence he needed to not go murder people, And she's like, I couldn't see him doing that though. No, you know who saw him doing it? The 4 people he did it to. Yeah, but no, it was so weird. And it's like, what if that's your profession? You're door-to-door machete salesman. ABC is not for always be killing. Because the C is for closing.
Yeah, because it's a K.
And maybe if you paid more attention to that teacher, you'd know better.
Yeah.
Okay.
Always
you know better.
A-B-K-D-E.
Now, if that teacher went, he didn't know his ABCs, I'd be like, that makes total sense. Yeah.
And that checks out.
That does check out. There's your Netflix special, son. Put it out. But no, that's what I've been binge watching. So like I said,
frightening.
Hey man. Couple hours at a time. And you know what's weird is you get right in the middle of something and it's like, hey, my time's up. And you're really tired then because you realize you've been on there. And you're like, my time's up. And you're like, damn it. Because now you're 15 minutes away from finding out what happens at this.
Oh, I've pushed through some stuff to be like,
yeah.
All right, I got to do this.
Yeah. Yeah.
I got to find out.
But I get up really early morning, like 4 o'clock, and I do 2 hours in the morning. So when I do that, 2 hours is longer than a movie.
Yeah.
But it's less than, so that most of these are like 45 minutes.
Right. So you can't get 3 in.
You can't get 3. You can if you, but
do the extra 15.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, you can. But yeah, that's how we're doing it now. It has not made me any more in shape. It's just, it does take some time. So that's good.
Yeah.
So, before we cut out, last week we did say the pop and the biscuits. And we said, is there any more significant feeling or gratifying feeling? We had a lot of people chime in on stuff, and some of it was very similar. One of them that I read was really weird about mustard on a biscuit.
Wait, how is that a satisfying feeling?
I didn't
know. Read that one.
I don't know.
This is news to me.
That was a more fresh.
It's like when NBC
input.
used to rerun stuff in the summer. If you haven't seen it, it's new to you. Yeah, that's kind of how stuff works, NBC.
That's
send my daughter over there to sass you so I can be like, woo!
Yeah, it says mustard and biscuits. I don't.
Are we naming names on that? Because I'll go back and find it. I know where to find it. But.
Rich, a guy we went to school with.
Okay.
But no, it's
well, it was poop related.
Smoke and bacon, smell of racing fuel. I like that one too. I really do like smell of racing fuel.
I like the smell of the airport, the diesel fuel and stuff. I don't know why. I just like
really?
it. Yeah, when you like where the trucks and the cars are, it's just like airport.
2 people back to back, a fart and farting It is very release.
I mean, if you've been sitting on it for a while, sure.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not going to name names, but one time there was when I lived in Urbana, someone was using our house, like they had met someone and they were using our house for their date. I don't remember why that was going on, but he walked her out to the door, came back in, and then it was literally like door shut. Solid 30 seconds. Just I was there, like my buddy LaShawn was there too at the same time. We both like just turned slow motion, like, how long have you been holding that? He's like, I don't know, 2.5 hours. Like, can you imagine if someone would have touched him? Yeah. He would have exploded.
Don't take the frontage road. Yeah. Don't take the frontage road. Yeah.
Is it Christmas? Were you stuffing your log?
Yeah.
My God.
Yeah. I am not going to beat you with a stick and see what else we get out of there.
Will you ever do that? Like you try to leave, like you try to droopy and you leave the room. Like you remember those cartoons where he'd take his head off and they'd run out and he'd scream because he stubbed his toe and he wasn't trying to wake up the guard. You ever do that? You ever go outside and be like, all right, this is your time. Let's do it. And like, you can't. And then you walk back in and suddenly it's like, I took you outside. Yeah. That was the whole reason. I didn't have to go outside to check the lawn again. It's February.
So fun fact.
Wait, did you just do just now?
Yeah, no.
Fun fact. I don't need to go outside.
Fun fact, you smell popcorn. Okay, no. Yeah. So no, we're doing a little game night, just Jeremy and his wife and me and my wife. Yeah, Uno. Chuck ruined the whole thing.
He's just outside the window, like
we're playing, and I'm like, so we're in their like dining room there, right off their kitchen, at the table. And I get up and I walk into the hallway, like by the kids' toy room, which there's no kids in there playing. I wouldn't care if there was, doesn't matter. But I turn the corner, and what I do is they go, "What are you doing?" I go, "I'm being polite, not doing it at the table." And I literally make eye contact with them, and you can hear it just loud as hell coming through the hallway. And I walk back out and I go, "Okay." Now, I must have got up about 74 times during that game. And every time, so it was funny, is one time the kids come down, and
they're dead now.
No, they come down and they're going to go in the toy room. And I'm like, and I'm just come out. And I the whole time I got my head around the corner, I'm making eye contact. So like, as I'm talking to you, you're like, you're hearing everything. Yeah. And I'm looking at you like, and I'm asking them, is this awkward to you? Because it's not to me at all, you know? I'm in their house.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, the fact you got up to walk away maybe 10 feet and be like, I'm just going to do it over here.
And it does. And then like I come back, like the first time I came back, Jeremy's like, came back too soon. I'm like, okay, sorry, buddy. So now I'm over there. We're playing categories too, I think. So it's like the timer's running. I'm like, don't start the timer. Don't start the timer yet. You know what I mean?
Everyone's got to breathe. Got to breathe. Hold on. Yeah. What's the thing? Like bungee cords to you. So if you don't like let it get away from you.
Correct. But see, I just became immune to it because the hallway was rancid. I mean, the pictures fell off the wall. It was disgusting.
You went nose blind?
Right. It was disgusting.
Hey guys, is it gone? No. No. Nope. Did I tell you the careful story? I think I did tell that on the podcast.
Yes.
It's like because they had those like leather things like they put at like grocery stores to like the plastic strips. Careful. What do you mean?
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Hey, stuff holds a lot of stuff in. You'd be surprised. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but no, I thought I'd take a tangent off there because that was one where I was polite enough to get up and leave the room, but I made I made it awkward enough to where I was still making eye contact. I'm like, we are going to look. You're going to hear everything that's going on. You know,
is there someone applauding behind you? Nope. Yeah. Nope.
By a round of applause, who wants to go in this hallway?
I mean, something is slapping together, but it's not applause.
I don't think that's Damon's clapping cheeks. I think, did I use that term right? Should I go to the Durban Dictionary?
No.
Okay.
It's a good show when you break Brian.
Yeah. He's throwing up over there in the corner. But no, so back to the list. We had taking a dump after holding it for a 3-hour car ride from Michigan. I've held it in a car ride before, not 3 hours. That's That's a very satisfying feeling. Again,
you know what's not satisfying? When you don't make it to the end of the car ride. People at Enterprise know that.
We'll pick you up.
Oh, but I dropped it off.
Yeah. A candle burning. Pimple popping. That was another gross one we got.
There's a whole show for that. Yeah. Dr. Pimple Popper.
Yeah. Knuckle cracking.
That's a good one.
Pop in the cinnamon roll can. Kind of the same premise.
Yeah, I think they just like really. Yeah. That's like, hey, I like Coke. I like Pepsi. We covered it. We covered it, all right?
Popping a bottle of champagne. This New Year's Eve especially after the crap we went through. I get that one. But yeah, like the one that threw me was the mustard and biscuits.
Yeah, it's like he just read biscuits and like his mind was like, I want some mustard and biscuits, which is weird. I'm surprised, and this is like I don't have this experience, but I'm surprised. Like, did anyone put like any of the ladies put like getting home from work and taking their bra off?
No,
because that's a huge cliche.
Yeah. No, that was a pretty cool list.
And for some people, I'm sure it's probably just like popping the biscuits.
Yeah. Well, the one I'm going to put up this week is New Year's resolutions. What's the New Year's resolution you're going to make, and when will you break it? Because for me, we're going to come back in here. We're doing next Saturday, right?
That's New Year's Day. Are we doing that?
Huh?
Is that New Year's Day?
No, it's the day after.
It's the day after. It's the second.
It's the day after. It's second. So we'd be coming on the second. Odds are
Cobra Kai's dropping the first. I don't. I got to binge that. So
we could watch an episode here.
Yeah, I got a pretty full. Hey, that's way more entertaining.
Yeah,
it's just dead silence. We're like, oh, every once in a while, you're like, oh,
sweep the leg, Johnny.
That's what my son does. He's the social assassin. He will sweep the leg when you're not ready.
Are you Crease?
Huh?
Are you Crease? You walk around like.
But so anyway, my question is, yes, basically, New Year's resolutions, and when will you break it? There's a good possibility that by the time we come in on the second,
yours is already over.
I already have 2 or 3 of them that are down. Yeah,
because pizza rolls.
Because of pizza rolls.
I haven't had any pizza rolls in the air fryer. They're good.
You know what? They're good. The thing is, my wife only wanted cheese.
What's the point?
That's not. Yeah. So if they were like the combination ones, they'd have been solid.
Yeah, it's like if you're gonna do the thing, do the thing.
And literally, I'm gonna tell you right now, that's what's crazy. Like 5 minutes. 5 minutes, I had pizza rolls.
That's what we were trying to tell you.
I was like, this is amazing. What's weird is so because I'm learning it.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry I'm gonna go off on tangent, but I love this thing. So I'm learning.
I've been waiting so long.
Yeah. So I didn't realize that I wanted to put wings in it. So I hit the preheat, so you get the plastic smell out because it's brand new. So you want to, it's like, okay, we'll do that. So I hit the preheat. It's preheated. I hit wings. I go to put them in. It's preheating again because it has a preheat built into it.
Right.
Well, now here's the bad thing. Every time then, so then I would change something. I'd put it back in, and I'd go to hit something, and it would preheat again. I'm like, don't preheat. Just start the timer. So I'm running a timer on my phone.
Preheat is a meaningless word. It's either heated or unheated.
Well, but it's already heated.
George Carlin.
Yeah.
Someone would call me out if I didn't.
Right. Right. But my whole point is that I'm running a timer on my phone. My kids are like, what are you doing? I want to see how long it takes to cook. Well, there's a timer on there. I'm like, when it's done preheating, I'm cooking now during the preheating.
Yeah.
So, but it literally was, I think it was 5 or 6 minutes, and they were awesome. I mean, done. They're big and puffy, so it was different, because normally they're especially if you microwave them, they're flat,
right.
And you're like, and
they've oozed out, right?
Oh, there's no worse feeling when you're scraping a plate trying to get the
I'll tell you
back in.
What the best is it's like if your wife says, "Hey, I'm going to go get lunch," and it's 11, and doesn't tell you she's going to 9 stores in between.
Yeah.
So she comes home at 1:30 with cold fries.
Yeah.
Throw those in the air fryer, you perk them right back up.
So that I'm assuming that grate has to be in the bottom of there because that's what allows the air to circulate underneath it. Mm-hmm. Okay. So because there's some stuff
because we have two, like we have the one that's just it's like a toaster oven / air fryer.
Yeah.
And it has a grate, but it also has a rack. But the one that's the Instapot / no, it's a Ninja Foodie. So it's the Instapot like thing plus the air fryer. It has a basket you put in.
Okay.
That has little feet on it. It keeps up off the thing, so it circulates through.
That's what this has. But the rubber feet. I'm like, how can the feet be rubber if it's in there with the heat? Well, it's not. It was fine.
Well, it's the same like they always tell you not to put metal in a microwave. And then it's like 20 years later, you're like, there was a metal rack in the microwave the whole time.
Right.
Remember the older ones had that like metal shelf in it?
What was the point of that too? Turntable on the bottom and then a shelf or sometimes no turntable, just
just a couple microphones.
Yeah. That's where it's at. That checks out.
That checks out. For Damon and Ted and Brian and KFC's Chicken Chamber. Oh, that checks out. We'll talk to you next week, everybody. Tell us about your resolutions and how you've broken them one day yet. One of Tina's friends, her mom likes a jerky that's made at a local butcher in Elburn, but they moved to Arizona for retirement. So we went there to get it, to put it in their bag so they could, give it to her mom when they open it up. So she bought some other stuff. She was there and she bought some hot dogs and some like smoked links and whatnot. She's like, do we have any sauerkraut? I'm like, yeah, we have like an 8-pound bag. She's like, well, I want some sauerkraut on my hot dog. She had sauerkraut on her hot dog. I threw away 7.9 pounds of sauerkraut the next morning. And it wasn't they don't like sauerkraut. I just didn't want it that day. But I was like, I came downstairs. It was all in the pot. And I was like, well, I guess that's going to go in the garbage.
True story.
What's talking?
I watch.
Oh.
Sauerkraut.
Garbage. 7.9.
Yeah, so that was what I was going to do next.
7.9. I hear something very faintly, and then I hear it through the microphone, but not, or through the headphones, but not.